Well, it's a new era in the Presbyterian Church. For the very first time, the Presbyterian Church USA will allow gays and lesbians to be ordained as ministers.
And it was a day that brought calm to the thousands of former Rock parishioners who felt hurt, lost, and lied to.
This is your verdict.
A jury in Texas puts Geronimo Aguilar behind bars.
Guilty of the offense of aggravated sexual assault of a child.
I pray the blood of Jesus will come upon you right now. He's pushing that baby out. Come on, he's pushing that baby out. Somebody holler, push! Push!
To know that she realized what I had done, I just instantly went into despair.
He had had one inappropriate period of misbehavior with one person, and it wasn't a man. It wasn't a transvestite. It was with a woman, and she was a Christian woman.
I have sinned against you, my Lord.
Wow, interesting. In the earlier clip, you hear and see Pinchas Giller make the following quote that the divine parts of God from above unified with the earthly feminine aspects of God. So the question is, what God is he referring to? And so I just want to highlight the term God, or should I say El, which dates back to the Semitic Canaan. It is a generic term and title that the Hebrew Israelites used to identify the Most High God. So it's important for everyone to know that just because you hear someone say that they believe in God does not mean that they are referring to the same God you believe in. Whatever you associate this generic term with is what brings life to this term God or El. And so the God that Pinchas Giller is referring to is the ein-sof. See, in the Kabbalah, the ein-sof is understood as God prior to his self-manifestation in the production of any spiritual realm. In the book titled Symbols of the Kabbalah, ein-sof begets a world so that he, as the source of all meaning and value, can come to know himself. According to the Jewish Virtual Library, the usage of the term ein-sof in the Kabbalistic literature began after the 12th century. And so Pinchas Giller says that the Kabbalists believe that the ein-sof and the Shekinah comes together and have a sexual union on Friday night. This is interesting because I want you to make a note of this along with a couple of additional names and terms I'm going to put out there, starting with the Yesod, which is the phallus of the ein-sof. In other words, the masculine reproductive organs of the ein-sof. So make a note of this is what the Yesod is. Then we have the Tiferet, which is not only a God himself in the Kabbalah, but also represents the heart and torso of the body of the ein-sof. And lastly, I want you to make a note of the term davening. This is what the entire sexual process is called. This is where the ein-sof copulates with the Shekinah. So I want you to take a note and really pay attention to this video. And Pastor Carr, feel free to jump in at any time to elaborate on what we are seeing in this clip.
So when you observe these people, and they are supposedly in prayer, they are not praying, okay? You see, the term for prayer and the biblical Hebrew vernacular is polal, all right? Polal prayer means to pray to the right authority and get oneself in line with the right authority, all right? Well, davening, they are actually trying to engage in a their sexual union between ein-sof, the Shekinah, and the human being that they are, the rabbi, okay, they are actually trying to have a sexual union. So there's some form of a imaginary sexual environment that they are processing, and this imaginary sexual environment is called davening. This is not once in a while, people. This is not once a year. This is every time they go into the synagogue, even when they're not in the synagogue and they're standing out in public and they are processing, moving their bodies, gyrating and thrusting their bodies in a sexual capacity, and you are thinking that they are praying. They are actually not praying. They are davening, and they are actually trying to be the Yesod. Okay? So that is the reason why they are thrusting their pelvises back and forth. So you've got to log this information into your church circuit, okay? And understand when Shekinah comes in the midst of the church service, you're no longer praying. You are no longer in Palau. When you invite or summon the presence of Shekinah, the Chaldean demon goddess, you've invited the Chaldean demon god, ein-sof, who is also Baal. And now you are in phallic worship, okay? And phallic worship, you will begin to see your people in the congregation carrying on with, there will be inappropriate sexual union activity happening. And what do we mean by that? People participating in choirs, male or female, and they are moving their bodies in an intimate way. Liturgical dancing with, with extremely tight-fitted bodysuits. Okay. See, we're not saying liturgical dancing is inappropriate. What we are saying is the spirit that is being processed in, which is the Shekinah spirit. When you bring in Shekinah, all right, then that spirit is going to overcome the dancer, because that dancer is the open host.
He's pushing that baby out. Come on, he's pushing that baby out. Somebody holler, push! Push!
I'm going to talk specifically today about the black culture. They do not know their history. That's one of the things that I know. And so you have to tell them their history